Hello, and welcome to this learning session on the Moore Industries SPA2 configuration software. In today's learning session, we're going to be focusing on the custom curve tab of the configuration software. And in this case in particular, I am using a high-level SPA2. So I'm measuring current 420 milliamp as my range here. And that's what we'll be focusing on as we establish a custom curve. But before we get along too far, I just want you to make note of one thing. Right now I have 4 milliamps going in. And the reason I'm showing you this is so you'll understand how the custom curve is working. And I'm going to change the input in steps of 4 milliamps. So I go from 4 to 8, and you can see it here on the process variable. We'll go up to 12, 16, and 20 milliamps. And we'll go back down to 4 here. So that is how my test system is set up, so it'll jump in steps of 4 milliamps. We'll see the difference when we input a custom curve here. But before we do that, we'll hit the stop button because we can't make any changes to the configuration software while it is monitoring my SPA2. Now let's go over to the custom curve tab. You can enable it right here. That'll get you into this screen here so you can input your parameters. Now, one thing you want to notice when you enable custom curve, let's jump over to scaling here, you lose the ability to scale. They are mutually exclusive. Either you're going to do scaling or you're going to do custom curve. So in this case, we're showing you the custom curve. And for simplicity, I'm only going to use 5 points for my custom curve. You can use up to 128 points, quite a large curve if need be, depending on your application. Okay, and now I'm going to input my X data. Here we have 2 columns, X data and Y data. This is my raw data coming in, as it were, and this is what I want as an output of my curve. So, for the input, the first point I input 4, and 8 milliamps, 12 milliamps, 16 milliamps, and finally 20. So that's how my input goes. I'm going to step the input that way. For the output, well, we'll start at 4. And then instead of going 8, we'll only go to 5 and 6. Then we'll make a little jump here to 8. And then, boom, all the way up to 20 milliamps. Okay? And so instead of a linear curve, you have 4 to 20 and 4 to 20 out, your curve would look like this. If you follow the cursor there, it would be a straight line. But in this case, 4 milliamps are going to start to 4, and then it's going to slowly climb to 5, 6, 8, and then jump up to 20. Okay, so first off, we'll do a quick set. This will allow us to enter the parameters here in this column. You know, the number of points you're enabling it, number of points, and the Y range of your custom curve. Okay, we'll wait for that to finish. It looks like it did. Now, one thing you have to remember here that's unique about the custom curve is in order to load this into your SPA2, you have to go up here to the menu bar and say download custom curve. It is separate from these settings here because in many cases this file will be 128 points. It'll be quite a large file. It'll take a little time. So you don't always want to load it. You only want to load it maybe once or twice whenever you're working on it. You don't want to load it every single time. So we'll hit the download the custom curve and say yes, please do that. And we'll wait for it to load. You can see the progress bar down here, so it is loading into my SPA2. It's fairly short, only 5 points, so it went a little bit quicker. Okay, so now let's go over and start monitoring. And there it goes. While it's monitoring, we'll look at the process variable, because right now it says 4 milliamps, but 4 milliamps in equals 4 milliamps out on my curve. So now I'll jump my input up to 8 milliamps, and there, it goes only to 5 this time. And then when I go to 12 milliamps, it jumps to 6, just as it's shown in the table here. I go to 16 milliamps, it limps up to 8, and then, voila, I hit 20 milliamps, and it's all the way. So it did follow the custom curve, and of course my analog output will follow it as well, will follow that custom curve. And of course this is what is going to be displayed on the screen, on the SPA2, the LCD screen. You can also, let me hit the stop button here quick. You can also put in anything you like in there, so you're operating on a curve. You can put for a custom label, and let's say yes, I do want to use the custom label. and I'll just write curve in there just for nothing else that I can think of. We'll do a quick set. Okay, and then we'll have it operate again. And then now it says 19.991 curve, and I'll put it 12 milliamps in and give me 6 milliamps out, just as shown here. And it has the word curve in there, so at least the operator knows that that's a custom curve. It's not the raw input any longer. So there you have it, the custom curve. It's always best to start small. Make sure it's reacting the way you expect it to react, and before you put in something like a 128-point curve. Also, you can save your curve. I'm going to save my custom curve here, and you notice that it'll save it as a Excel file. So you can just put a name in there. I'll put this one as test 2 and save that, and it'll be there. You could also create a custom curve in Excel and then import it here by just saying, open custom curve, and you can save your file from Excel here and then grab it and put it into your custom curve. Again, maximum of 128 points. So there you have it, custom curve. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you for listening.